Hey, this is Eric from Follow the Leader. I'm a dog trainer in Santa Barbara, California, and I own a few Akitas. I have one right here that I got a year ago. Kai. Um, Beautiful dog, but it's taken me an entire year to be able to touch her comfortably. And so I want to do a video on just some things to think about if you're going to get an Akita. Now, I know there's amazing Akitas out there. I know there's Akitas that could be pet by anyone and can go to dog parks. I know. There are Akitas that you could leave home with your children and know, you know, they're never going to hurt your kid. There are sweet Akitas. And anybody who's met a lot of them will tell you that. There are some that are just sweeties. There just is. Same thing with the chows. These dogs are actually Akita, mostly Akita, part chow, and slight German Shepherd. And, I just want to say something where it's like, why do you want an Akita? And if you're saying I want an Akita, I just like them. I just like Akitas. Like, I like the color blue. No, I like nice running shoes. I like a Toyota Land Cruiser. But all those things, there's absolutely no risk that they're going to end up killing or hurting something. There's no risk. So there's a lot of dog breeds out there. There's black labs that are very aggressive. There's black labs or golden shepherds that'll fucking bite people for sure. But that's not the norm with those breeds. An Akita that can go to dog parks. I made a little list here somewhere. That can go to dog parks. Let me go get this in here. An Akita that you're going to get if this is your first dog. If this is your first dog, I would highly advise against getting an Akita. Or if I was to get an Akita, I would get one from a rescue organization that has been vetted and has passed tests and has been assessed so they can tell you accurately what type of dog you're getting, what kind of personality it has, what it's afraid of, what it doesn't like, what kind of routine you're going to have to get the dog into, what kind of limitations there are. So if it's your first dog, the only way to do it is go to a dog rescue and get one that they can tell you, yeah, this guy right here, he's an Akita, but he's a good boy. He's super mellow. He just wants to roll around and be a pillow on the ground. But even so, that's a dog that needs to be respected. It needs to be trained. It needs to live in a structured environment. It needs to be constantly socialized and exposed to things. It needs to be monitored. It needs to be a dog that you're always kind of aware of what's going on with them. What are they kind of thinking? How's their behavior? Is it changing? I mean, I have an Akita that had never hurt a dog. I mean, this one right here, she's bit him in the face 5 times. He doesn't even care. But even my really good, really mellow, really stable Akita, turns out, I found out after 5 years, doesn't like unneutered dogs in his front yard or on the property. And if he meets them and he is threatened, he'll bite them. And depending on the circumstances, that bite could be a puncture, that bite could be a $500 or $1,000 bill at a veterinary's office. Possibly somebody suing you. But, so, if it's your first dog, don't get a puppy. Just don't do it. Your friend had dogs, your friend had Akitas, they're cute, and you looked into it and you're excited about an Akita now because you saw these puppies. Don't get an Akita. You're getting it because it's cute. You don't probably really know what you're getting yourself into. And I don't mean any offense. Maybe you do, maybe you really know what you're getting yourself into. I don't mean any offense to anybody. And understand, I'm coming from a place of I love these freaking dogs, and it breaks my heart because I talk to trainers, I talk to people, and they regularly say that Akitas can be very difficult and very dangerous. Sadly, even some of the people who love the Akitas the most are even a little bit in denial of this. But if you talk to enough trainers and rehabilitation specialists, they'll tell you Akitas can be a dog that no one can fix. And when no one can fix a dog, it gets put down. I mean, there's a rescue organization that has an Akita that there's only one person who can go into the kennel with it. So another thing to think about if you have an Akita is, do you really want to go to dog parks? If you really are getting a dog so you can go to dog parks, which is a whole nother topic. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of dog parks. I could talk about that. I could go on about that. But if you really want to go to dog parks, or you're in a situation where you absolutely are going to have to leave your dog at a doggy daycare facility, don't get an Akita. Because you may not be able to go to a dog park. Or if you go to a dog park and the wrong situation arises, it could be bad. Now, I'm not saying there's not Akitas that can go to dog parks. There are. I'm just saying, if you don't have one already and you're thinking about getting one and you're like, man, I got to make sure he's going to be able to go to the dog park. It's like, I just want to be able to go to the dog park and have him play with all the dogs and wrestle around with them. It's like, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Now, if you've had Akitas before, then all these things that I'm talking about is not anything new to you. You're going to say, oh yeah, that's how Akitas can be, unless you really know what you're doing. Like, you're not going to end up with a bomb-proof, solid, calm, awesome Akita. And even if you do everything you can do, they just have different personalities to them. Some of them have just more of an edge. And even if you train them, even if you socialize them, you're just still going to have a dog that you're just going to have to kind of keep an eye on. Fifth thing is, do you live in a neighborhood with dogs roaming around that are kind of roaming around off leash? Possibly could end up barking and getting aggressive towards your dog that's on leash. If you live in a neighborhood where you walk around and there's dogs just roaming, walking up to your dog that you don't have control over, don't get an Akita. Because if one of those dogs starts triggering and starts freaking your Akita out, and you want to be determined to walk your dog in your neighborhood, and that dog roams around the fence and pisses on the fence and barks, your Akita's gonna probably not like that dog. And, Now, like I said, probably. There are obviously exceptions. I have Akitas that can go places, that can walk down the street unmuzzled safely, that can go to a dog park if I choose to take them to a dog park. But the amount of work it has taken me, and the rate of success to failure, and what I've had to do to get those dogs to be that way, is just not something most people are going to do. The amount of socialization, training, discipline, socialization, training, discipline is just way more than what most people really want to get themselves into. It just is. So that's pretty much my video. These are some things to think about when getting an Akita. My next video, I guess, will be suggestions for people who have Akitas. And, you know, I don't want to be breedist and lump all the dogs together, but, you know, most people I have met who've met a lot of dogs have said the Akitas and the chows are just kind of different than most other dogs. So this video and the next video I'm going to post is going to be geared towards Akita owners.